Ever wonder why certain headlines or video titles instantly grab your attention? It's not magic, it's psychology. And today we're breaking down how hooks work to captivate your mind. Whether it's a YouTube title, a social media post, or even a news headline, hooks are the first thing that grabs you. A powerful hook can make or break whether someone stays to engage with your content. The truth is, the psychology behind hooks is deeply rooted in human behavior. It taps into emotions, curiosity, and even our fears. Today, we're diving into the psychology behind some of the most effective hooks and how you can use them to captivate any audience. One of the most powerful psychological techniques behind a successful hook is the curiosity gap. It's based on George Loewenstein's information gap theory, which says people are motivated to take action when there's a gap between what they know and what they want to know. Ever clicked on something like, "You'll never believe what happened next," or "What they don't tell you about success"? These hooks make you curious enough to fill that gap. You have to know the answer, and that's how they draw you in. Next, let's talk about emotional triggers. Hooks that evoke emotions, whether fear, excitement, or surprise, activate the limbic system in the brain, which processes emotions. Our brains are hardwired to react to emotional stimuli because emotions help us survive. That's why something like, "This one mistake could ruin your career," instantly makes you stop and pay attention. It's triggering fear, an emotion that demands your focus. Speaking of urgency, FOMO is another powerful psychological tool behind hooks. People don't want to feel like they're missing out on something important, which makes them more likely to act. FOMO taps into the scarcity principle, the idea that when something is limited, it becomes more valuable. Hooks that trigger FOMO usually sound like "Everyone's talking about this. Are you?" Or "Don't miss this life-changing opportunity." The idea that others are already benefiting from something triggers a need to be part of it. Next is social proof, which is the psychological phenomenon where people follow the actions of others because they believe it's the right thing to do. This taps into conformity bias, where people naturally want to fit in and not stand out. Hooks that use social proof say things like, "Over 1 million people have already tried this," or "Everyone is talking about it. Are you?" This makes the audience feel that they should follow the crowd to avoid missing out. Humans are hardwired to seek out new experiences, and that's where the novelty effect comes in. Our brains love new information because it releases dopamine, the chemical responsible for motivation and pleasure. That's why headlines or hooks that offer something new or surprising work so well. This brand new method will change how you think about success. Immediately catches your attention because you want to learn something you've never heard before. Another attention grabber is the shock factor. Hooks that surprise or shock your work because they trigger an immediate fight or flight response, making your brain focus intensely. Headlines like, "You're doing this all wrong," or "What you don't know could hurt you," shock your system and demand attention. Finally, urgency and scarcity are classic psychological tactics that drive action. Urgency hooks work because they trigger our fear of running out of time or missing an opportunity. Lines like, "You have 24 hours to get this deal," create a sense of time pressure, making people act quickly. On the other hand, scarcity, such as "Only 5 spots left," works because when something is rare, our brain sees it as more valuable. So there you have it, the psychology behind some of the most effective hooks. Whether it's curiosity, emotion, or fear of missing out, each tactic taps into a different aspect of how our brains work. Next time you're crafting a headline or creating content, think about which of these psychological triggers you can use to pull people in. Want more insights into how psychology shapes our everyday decisions? Subscribe to Cognitive Curves, hit the bell icon for notifications, and start using these strategies to master your messaging.